and on the floor a red carpet. Eh? Crazy! Buzeki is actually a mix of my three names, Zedekia Kiprop Ndotich. I love cows. Yes, now I am in politics because I have aspirations. But on the other side, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. The journey is still going on.
While soaring high in the world of business, the soft-spoken man unveils his rapping skills.
When I was a teenager, I had a song that I used to sing that used to say, "Make a prop a millionaire. Me owns a house, a big mansion. Me own a car." Those days I used to say BMW, now I say a Porsche.
Despite his life of opulence, he goes down memory lane. His most sentimental possession,
I had a mkokoteni. A real mkoko that I used. We used to use it for distributing milk in Mombasa those days when I started. A real mkokoteni.
clearly, he is a big dreamer and an incredible cyclist. While a day-long off-work access to Buzeki is seldom, we caught up with him in his upcountry home in Ainabkoi, the heart of Uasin Gishu County. An hour off Eldoret town, his massive farm comes into view, the scale of operation impressive. I seek to find out how much I need to build an upcountry home like his in Eldoret.
Plan your house, get an architect, and start slowly, and believe you me, you will achieve it without so much pain and without so much trouble. To me, everything boils down to this place. When all the good and the bad that can happen in this world, all will settle here. You know, because this is where I run in the morning, this is where I jog, this is where I do stuff.
And this in Mombasa, where he started by hawking milk. Buzeki has certainly set himself apart from a pool of business owners, ranging from agriculture, logistics, and politics. Buzeki is a titan and one of the wealthiest CEOs in Kenya, as featured in Forbes 2017 list.
I appreciate what I have, and I try to share it out with well-deserving people as much as possible. And if there is billions that I pray for every day, is God to give me good health. You know, those are the kind of billions that I would want to have.
Buzeki swept away Uasin Gishu County in the 2017 gubernatorial campaign. He ran a fierce campaign against his major rival, Governor Mandago.
So, yes, now I am in politics because I have aspirations as a person, but I think I can be part of the agent of the kind of leadership that this country would want. And you know, that is a journey that I started 1 year ago, and the journey is still going on. But the last days of the campaign, all my family members from Mombasa all over came. You know, they came and stuck with me, and you know, we did the last days of the campaigns together. This house has a very rich history. This house has a history and memories that you cannot buy with money. Me and my entire siblings were brought up in this house. This was just for room and a living room, but everything else was outside.
This modified wooden house, however, is where his sojourn to success started.
So what a memory. What a memory. You cannot buy with money.
As his cows lick him in adoration, he tells us the tale to his billions.
was a humble childhood, but I'll tell you, I have, you know, we were brought up with a lot of discipline. When I see myself hanging around cows today, I'm not surprised, because as early as when I was in class 5, I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. There was a routine in our family that you go to the dairy in the morning. You know, it's not like the dairy that you have seen there. But I would go in the morning to go and take measurements for milk for every cow. Yes, I used to get milk from Nairobi. I bring to Mombasa in a canter. I come and distribute, and I do retail to shops. I used to get a shilling. That's gross profit. Yes, I was employed in Kilifi plantations in 1998, 99, and then I left. In Kilifi, I was working in a milk processing plant, and I rose to the level of being a sales manager for Kilifi plantations. And then I left Kilifi. I started distributing Tuzo milk in Mombasa, which I did for 8 years. And I was one of the biggest distributors that I've ever sold a fast-moving consumer product in Kenya. After that, I went back and bought Kilifi plantations. The same boss who had employed me had closed the factory. I went and bought it. I also came and bought Molo Milk that had closed. And I also bought Limuru Dairy Farmers Cooperative Society. And I created a huge brand called Molo Milk, New Kilifi Gold, and Limuru. And then eventually in 2013, I sold it to Brookside.
His obsession is quite interesting.
I'm more obsessed about cows than a car.
Buzeki, who stands up as an environmentalist, takes us on a road trip of
any
his
animal
forest.
that is inside here, a hare, a rabbit, is also part of this forest. So please, if you see any hare running around here, that is a Buzeki hare. So we have everything, from a hare to a cow to a forest, and even grasshoppers. Yeah, so this forest starts from the very far left and stretches all the way through to the very far right. Yeah, the size of this swamp is of course, it stretches down all through for almost...
Running for public office comes with controversial stories by bloggers.
There's so many, you know, some are not worth mentioning, because if you mention, you're actually confirming to the people who wanted to get a swipe on you that they got your attention. So there was a lot of bogus stories, and to me, it's inconsequential.
Some allege that he owns 3,000 trucks. However,
I have 3,000 trucks. You know, that's obviously exaggerating, you know. So you would see that the person had a good intention, but obviously the information they are putting is wrong.
Buzeki, who made his fortune through hawking milk, is equally committed to improving lives of people in his community.
I already had started working with the community. I used to buy milk from them, so they knew me. You know, they knew what Buzeki is, but they didn't know the person, to be honest. Most of them didn't know the person. So when I came to politics, and that will also explain the reason why I made such a huge impact, is that I had a pivot. You know, I had a fulcrum to revolve around my political activities, which is the people that I had met over the years, the institutions that I had partnered with other people to build, probably the people who had employed, who majority came from North Rift, was in issue. You know, their families knew that their children had worked in Buzeki, and obviously that was part of the reasons why I probably had such a big impact. Other than the fact that obviously I had a rich manifesto, I also hit the campaign trail very hard, you know, campaigned very passionately. Yeah.
While he left a mark in the 2017 gubernatorial race, his loss was a harsh reality to his ardent followers.
I'll keep it at that for now, and we stand a chance in the future.
In the spirit of handshake, he tells us about his relationship with Mandago.
We hugged. You know, that's the sort of person that I am. I don't take things to heart. That was a contest, it's over. It's over. In my heart, I'm finished with that. You know, we look at other things. Needless. you know, I have no grudge with anyone. You know, this is politics, and that's how it's done in Kenya. And you know, you learn through the ropes, and on a good day you get the seat, on a bad day your brother gets it, and life continues.
From Eldoret, we head to his other favorite place. Buzeki hosts us for dinner in his Mombasa home as we seek to explore his world of logistics. Beyond the coastal breeze and sandy beaches, Buzeki ushers us into his world of logistics, which apparently is his biggest niche. Today, he's transporting clinker, a product used in making cement.
This is just a quarter of the ship. By the time we do a whole ship, we will have a huge mountain here, not the height of Mount Kenya, but you know, but quite a hill, a man-made hill that will last here for probably another. We started the logistics department, the logistics division of Buzeki in 2004. And you know, and we've been running this far. We have a fleet of excess of probably 300 trucks on the road today. We employ 1,000 Kenyans. One thing that I'm proud of is I am a taxpayer. If I showed you the record of what taxes I have paid to Kenya over the years by virtue of being a businessman, it makes me proud. This is purely a private enterprise that was conceptualized some 13 years ago. And we have decided to focus on bulk cargo handling. So what we do is we handle material from the port. We come and store it here in what we call an intermediate storage site, and then we evacuate the same material to our customers in Nairobi. So we have two customers mainly. We have Bambure Cement, we have National Cement. We store their material here.
We are about to head to the port, where ships carrying the cargo dock. Buzeki has one word for his employees as we head to our next destination.
Lakini lazima uzoee kufanya kazi. Sio lazima nije ama lazima mimi niwe hapa. Kari kitu kulai ndani kitu na bamaana kona kwa bala ko usul. Ege by family. Kazi go ungo ni tujebi. The process begins here. Without getting the clinker from the ship, there is no way you can be able to have cement. First, evacuating the material, and you can see there is one more dumper coming here, so they just do a circuit of circulation, evacuating material from the ship. Yeah, once we take the material to Mariakani, Buzeki will transport. There are ships that we handle alone as Buzeki. There are ships that bring material for Buzeki alone, and there are ships that bring material that we will eventually co-transport with other peers in the industry. I think the biggest challenge is lack of proper regulation in the logistics industry.
As the day ends,
My favorite food?
he is a man clearly competitive, whether in politics, business, or community service, and he is not slowing down anytime soon. Sharon Kiprono, View Sasa News.